You're tuned to Night Nerves, where if it's scary, creepy, thrilling, or disturbing, we read it, watch it, and talk about it. I'm Sam, and today we're discussing Cold Front, written by Barry Hammond. This is my advanced reader copy of it. This was originally published in 1982, and it is now being reprinted by Fathom Press. Let's start by reading the blurb on the back. 3 brutal men, a defenseless girl, and the ultimate horror poised to strike. You might pity the girl, trapped in a snowbound cabin in the Canadian wilderness with 3 savage fugitives from the law. But you would be wrong. It's not the girl you should pity, it's the men, as they waken a power beyond all human control, and their burning lust turns to freezing fear. The shivering starts long before the screaming begins. I love blurbs like this that don't give you too much of the plot. They just give you little nuggets of intrigue and some mystery to make you want to read it, and that is exactly what it did for me. I mentioned it in an unboxing short video that I made ahead of reading this story, that this is a book that was nearly impossible to get your hands on for years and years. The people that did have a copy either got very, very lucky, or they paid several $100s to obtain a copy of it. And if you follow the history of horror paperbacks, you know this is a book that was mentioned in Paperbacks from Hell, written by Grady Hendrix and Will Erickson. And your heart probably sank a little bit when you saw that the cover art for Cold Front was used on the reprint of Thomas Page's The Spirit. A lot of people thought for sure Hammond or New English Library had declined the opportunity to do a reprint of this book. But alas, Fathom has the rights to it, and they are going to be reprinting it. I believe they're going to start shipping them out in January. It's probably January right now when this video is getting published, so you can pick up your copy as well. This feels like a historic moment for paperback horror. I'm certainly really excited. This is definitely a novel I didn't think I would get the opportunity to read, at least not read in text form like this with pages. I thought maybe by some miracle someone would leak the text online and I would have to read it through like Internet Archives or maybe some weird jumbled PDF or scans of the pages. But no, you can own a copy of this. This is my first time being an ARC reader, so thank you so much to Justin at Fathom Press for giving me this opportunity. Anyways, let's get into the story. Before reading the story, I was a little concerned that it wasn't going to live up to my expectations, because since this is a rare book, there's a lot of hype around how great it is. It has a 4.3 on Goodreads, which is very high for a horror novel. It does not have many reviews though. Before recording this video, I looked on YouTube to see how many reviews there were of Cold Front, and at the moment there is only 1 video review from Leon the Paperback Maniac, but I am happy to report this is an excellent story. However, if you are someone that needs to like the characters, someone that needs to sympathize with them, you should probably look for a different story, because that is not going to happen here in Cold Front. The 3 men mentioned in the blurb of this story are all scoundrels. No one is really a redeemable character. Even a lot of the minor characters do not seem like great people. The story and the setting is very bleak, and I really love that. I love horror stories where there's tons of despicable characters. This is one of the reasons Jack Ketchum is one of my favorite authors. I really love when an author drops you into a specific social culture of society that maybe lives on the margins. You have to spend time with these people that are not people you would want to spend time with, but you can do that safely through the pages of a story like this. The way the novel starts off, it has a lot in common with the story of Fargo. It has that crime aspect to it, and there's a lot of dark humor in it, but it quickly develops into a horror story. And in the horror department, it's got a little bit for everyone. There is this otherworldly horror that is hinted at in the blurb on the back of the book. There's some great body horror scenes in it. There are these frightening dream sequences that kind of have this hallucinogenic quality to them. And then of course there's the horror that humans inflict on one another. It's very, very impressive, all that Hammond packed into this very, very small book. It comes in at 153 pages. It's very lean. It's got great pacing to it. And again, great scares, very spooky. This is a winter horror novel, but I feel like you could read this at any time of the year and still feel the frigid and bitter cold that Hammond writes about in these pages. This was excellent. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. Another cool thing about the novel is it has a new afterword that is is written by Barry Hammond, where he talks about the inspiration for the story, the experience publishing it. He even gives a shout out to Leon the Paperback Maniac, which I thought was very cool. He is definitely missed here in the horror lit community. If you've watched other video reviews I've done on this channel, you know I do not give out 5-star reviews very often. As a matter of fact, I believe I have not given out any 5-star reviews on this channel to anything I have read so far. But Cold Front is a 5-star book in my opinion. This totally lived up to the hype. It checked a lot of boxes for me, like I talked about. I loved all the different horror elements. I loved the pacing of the story, the despicable characters. So yeah, that's a review. Cold Front, Barry Hammond. You can get a copy right now at fathompress.com. They are going to be releasing a ton of other stuff, and I am excited to read other releases that they are doing and let you know my thoughts on them. Thank you so much for tuning in, for hanging out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with a friend. And if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram at night_nerves. I hope to see you in the next one. Stay spooky.